Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Insider, round one was a classic. What would round two bring? Cambridge Easton in a sold-out gym. Those highlights coming up.
There we go. That's the way to start off the show. And coming up, we're hitting the mats. The Henlopen Championships got underway earlier tonight. We take you inside the action in just a bit.
That's right. Some good old wrestling down in Georgetown. I cannot wait to get to those highlights tonight in the show.
And with that, welcome into the only place you want to be on a Friday night at 11, Delmarva Sports Insider, along Trayvon Miles and Jeff Harris. I'm Julian Tador.
That's right. If you're looking for 30 jam-packed minutes of all sports here right on the shore, don't go anywhere. You just happen to be in the right place.
Yeah, that's right. So coming down to the stretch in both the Bayside, the Henlopen, we saw some wrestling, alluded to that, but we also have a lot of basketball to get to as well.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of basketball, and as you mentioned, Jeff, we are near the end of the season, and because of that timetable, a division title was actually up for grabs.
That's right. Easton Cambridge, the last matchup ended in a classic. You remember you were there. So Thursday night, another chapter added to those record books of a great rivalry. And remember, Cambridge won this matchup on a buzzer beater just over a month ago, but it's Easton who can capture the Bayside North title with the win in this game. First half, Lamont Powell, you know where he's from, straight out of private school, right? Little step back three to open the game up. CSD tough defensively all
some hands
season
right
long.
there.
Tyon Bray McKnight with the steal right there, and he's going to finish on the other end. Then Cambridge again, Jaquan Ferrer with a floater in the lane. That cuts Easton's lead to 4, but the Warriors playing defense as well. The big fella, Jaden Copper, getting up for a block, and then you feed the big fellow on the other end. Easton up 7 at halftime.
Now, if you remember, Copper sat out pretty much the entire second quarter in that first game because of fouls, making an impact in this one. Vajon Ashley with the lefty laying there, and that would get as close as it would get for CSD. Warriors in front of a sellout crowd. Alec Rydell leaking out and avoiding the block for 2 more. Easton, your Bayside North champs for the second straight year. Check out the score, 62-40, the final.
Come out here strong, play how we know how to play, and it was revenge day for us because they hit the buzzer beater and that hurt us bad. So we came to practice every day, ready to work, fight hard, and we came out with the win. A win like this puts us way ahead, but it gives us a little bit of space, but we can't get too comfortable because we still got to win out the rest of the season to be #1.
Somebody needs to tell that young man they just won the Bayside North.
Yeah,
right?
but I love what he said,
Straight
though,
focus.
because they cannot let up, even though they have their spot secured. Whoever they see coming out, whether it be Crisfield or Wye, depending on how that shakes out, they're going to need to bring their A game,
Oh,
right?
absolutely, and they're going to have their hands full either way. But I really think that the guys there for Easton have a chip on their shoulder coming in because of that last matchup. You saw the last matchup was a 1-point game. This one, a 22-point blowout. So you know what kind of focus Coach Deontay Heinsohn had those guys in, and they were definitely into it last night.
Yeah, and not to credit Jaden, you got to credit the entire team for a 22-point victory at home, but he did sit out pretty much, like 12 minutes or so in that first game because he picked up 2 early fouls. They ended up losing by 1. Now you insert him the entire game, and they win by 22. So obviously you need to keep Copper on the floor if Easton wants to continue winning and then winning in the playoffs. But a lot more games to get to from Maryland, and for those, let's send it over to Jonah.
Thanks, guys. We're going to continue with the rivalry theme. Just like Easton and CSD, this one was a classic back in January, and part 2 tonight. Snow Hill and Pocomoke Eagles took matchup 1 in overtime, and Pocomoke, well, still in search of their first Bayside win. Charles Finney gets things started from deep. 8-0 run to open up the game, and then Finney driving, missing, but Nigel Houston there for the 2-handed putback dunk. He's good for one of those a game. Snow Hill would have the lead at half. Jay Ayers 3 from the corner, so 7-point cushion. In second half, Zaire Johnson going off from all spots on the court, catch and shoot 3, and then the pull-up. He finished with a game-high 24. Pocomoke, a late run of their own. They cut a 24-point lead to just 7 in the fourth quarter. Colby Spetta with the putback, but this play right here, the exclamation point. Shaquan Williams, Snow Hill hands Pocomoke the loss, 69-61. Last night in Salisbury, city rivalry, Bennett looking to end a 2-game losing streak, taking on Y-High. The Clippers came out ready to play. Jarrell Spates lay in. Bennett, they led 6-1 just a few minutes in, and then something just changed for Y-High. They found themselves. Dorian Stevens steps into the 3. And then Jaden Baker making magic in the lane. Sweet move for the teardrop. A 19-2 run to end the first quarter for the Tribe. The sophomore, Jason Handy, really turned up last night. Team high 20 points to go along with 8 boards. And from there, the Tribe just ran away from it. Matt Lowe throwing down a breakaway slam. Y-High wins 92-67, claims the school's 24th city championship. Now on the girls' side, same matchup. Clippers need a win to keep pace with Parkside in the Bayside South. So first half, Olivia Owens doing it all. Grabs the offensive board, steps out and splashes the 3. JMB up 7 at the break. Second half, Y-High putting something together. Kiaya Camper with the layup, and then Liata Pettit with a little teardrop. 15-3 run to take the lead at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth, Makara Hansen, she would just light up the scoreboard. 15 points in the final quarter. She ties things up on that 3. So with less than 2 minutes to go, Janisha Prusian gives Y-High the lead. Few free throws puts the Tribe up 3 with 5 seconds left. Hansen's game-tying attempt off the back iron. So Y-High holds on for the season sweep. Parkside, they are the Bayside South champs, guys.
And some other scores from around the conference. Decatur avenging a 33-point loss last month with a 40-point win over Parkside. The Seahawks led 29-0. We're talking about basketball here, guys. 29-0 after the first quarter.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. I thought that was a mistake.
No,
when we read it on Twitter now. A
It
Kendron Wayman free throw with 2.4 seconds left would lift North Carolina Oval rival Colonel Richardson in a close one in Kent County, and Crisfield also picking up wins. You see the scores.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. So, of course, I have to ask, when we're talking about the Bayside, the biggest controversy this week is really what's going to come down between Y-High and Crisfield, because a coin toss may decide the winner?
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw this a couple of years ago with Stephen Decatur and Pocomoke. And, of course, winning something like this when they are tied with the same overall record and you're tied with the other tiebreaker, it's really hard to say that somebody's going to have to sit out of this game. But ultimately, what I really want people to understand is that you're not worried about the Bayside title game. You're really worried about trying to win a state championship. So let's not put too much into this. The state championship's more important.
I mean, Jeff Harris, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, absolutely. Trey nailed it. I mean, everybody wants to, capture their conference championship and then, finish the regular season undefeated and then win a state championship. I mean, that would be the dream year, but this is just another game. So you make it in, you focus on that game, you look to win. If not, you use that week to rest, and then you get ready for the state tourney. In my opinion, who do I think would play better in this game? I'm going to say Crisfield.
So you want to see Crisfield?
There we go. Yes, I would like to see Crisfield.
Crisfield has been the more dominant team. I don't think that people can not say that. But the guys at Y-High say, hey, look, we have one loss too. So, we deserve to be a part of this as well.
I have one more question for you, Mr. Miles, and that is you mentioned that Y-High needed something to spark them before playoffs started. Have you seen that spark in the Y-High team yet?
You know what? When they lost Dominic Bailey to transfer to St. Francis, I really was wondering who's going to step up. This kid, Jason Handy,
it's a real deal.
Not really that big inside. He might be 5'11" or 6 foot. But the way he's playing and the confidence that he's gaining is really going to be important for this team going down the stretch.
All right.
I will say that. That's it for A Block. Coming up, we take things to Delaware. Caesar Rodney looking to slow down a hot Sussex Tech team. That's coming up next on the Delmarva Sports Insider.
Hi, I'm Jaden Copper from Easton High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.